So we have reached, never mind, Larry, forget your halftime report. Apparently, we are set for the third quarter of action already. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They'll drop the throw, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Their dangerous wide receiver, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos turn that interception into a touchdown. Great corner route there, not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he reconsidered here. It'll cost him 10 yards now with a new rule as he's down at the 15-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
And he slings one that's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away, but the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. To the sideline, and a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. But it looked like, fortunately, the Broncos able to recover.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the fourth time today.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the defensive unit now for the Broncos as they get set here. They forced the punt the last time, got off the field. I'm sure some of your D coordinators through the years, you liked when you heard those words, get off the field.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Or maybe you didn't like it when you heard those words.
It depended on when they were yelling them. But in this situation, absolutely perfect. Get off the field, force a punt, let the offense take over and do their thing, and it resulted in a field goal.
Now we'll see if they can do that again. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And that is incomplete. So a second down incompletion now brings up third down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Back to throw again. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
So the offense has it 1st and 10.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Back to throw now on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. He had excellent hands that could throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he fires one, but incomplete. Thought he may have gotten away with one there, but the ref caught him, and it's holding. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Their dangerous wide receiver hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Now Parkey for the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Charles, I know it's hard when live bullets are flying, but you cannot keep your hand up around the face mask area.
It is absolutely inexcusable nowadays. We talk about target areas all the time. You have to aim lower so that your hand doesn't get involved in the face mask.
They go play action here on first down. And this one is incomplete. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell. And it's second down. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical. Spread things out a little bit, make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it physically. You just have to win it by position. That may open things up for your running backs.
And they've got an extra defensive back out there now on 3rd and 13. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Back now at the home of the champs, Sports Authority Field in Denver. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Well, there really wasn't much there, but a completion is a completion. A tough third down awaits them.
And the dreaded 3rd and long here for the offense. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, you're trailing. It's the 4th quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
And the Broncos go to a nickel set on 3rd down.
Yeah, they've got an extra DB out there. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. A great read, and it's picked off. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw. That's a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
Whoosh, fights, and all the way home for a Broncos score. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos turn that interception into a touchdown. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Broncos defense coming back onto the field. And they forced 4 turnovers now in that last possession, most recently the interception.
I'd love to be in charge of their highlight video at the end of the season, though, because this game, you could cut it into one sequence, take away, take away, take away, take away, and everyone goes home happy.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They come out here in the eye. And he'll give it here to his running back. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out. And that pickup of a 1st down That's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Wide open receiver complete. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on 4th. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing to score here on what could be their final drive. Back to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. A good pickup there, 8 yards. The first down completion. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll look to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. And now they're in the hurry-up. He's back to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make something.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Broncos have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Did you see them hold up 4 fingers to the start of the 4th quarter?
They were ready.
They were definitely ready. They may or may not have done that, but they certainly have played that way. The 4th quarter has belonged to them, and now the lead belongs to them as well.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it out past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? And They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
He'll look to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's brought down. Give him 16 on the pickup, and it's good enough for a Cleveland first down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. Oh, no, he lost the football. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball, so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. 2 timeouts remaining defensively, but that shouldn't make much difference right here.
It really shouldn't, but a lot of coaches look at it similar to baseball with the intentional walk.
Always bringing in other sports.
Always. Hey, listen, think about the intentional walk, right? What if one gets past the catcher? What if he uncorks a wild one and now you still have an opportunity? That's why they like to use them all the way through.
A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles, and really the difference, obviously, was that fourth quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback. Because we've been in games before. We've done games where you can just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it well.
So for Denver, they're into the win column for the 3rd time this year as they get the victory here. And they'll hit the road next.
Just a bunch of poor boys, daddies, girls, children of the cornfield, trying to turn a shift job into a dollar bill. We wear the muddy boots, stay true to how we're raised. Ain't nothing about us fake. You know we're straight out of that dirty South, dirty roads. Nobody got no money, got them signed up pickup trucks, whistling at them from the country. Yes, sir. You know we're straight out of that long week working now. Everybody wanna party all night long, bonfire on the back 40, in the middle of nowhere, nobody going home tonight, till we're straight out of moonlight, straight out of moonlight, yeah. Just a bunch of John Deere junkies getting funky to some old hang, nothing been stuck in the mud that we can't hook up to a rusty chain in the sun or in the rain. It's the kind of thing, you know we're straight out of that dirty South, dirty roads. Nobody got no money, got them signed up pickup trucks, whistling at them from the country. Yes, sir. You know we're straight out of that long week working now. Everybody wanna party all night long, bonfire on the back 40, in the middle of nowhere, nobody going home tonight, till we're straight out of moonlight, straight out of moonlight.
killing it. Yeah, I've been hard in the paint, not a single assist. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been now they with this. Yeah, I've been killing it. Yeah, I've been hard in the paint, not a single assist. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been now they with this. Yeah, I've been killing that. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been killing that, flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been killing that. Yeah, I've been hard in the paint, not a single assist. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist, flicking that wrist. Let me tell you about the young man.